You see that shit? And then they fought back so much all the way into the 1950s. See that? So niggas was fighting back into the 1950s. 1950s, that was jazz and blues and all of that shit. So niggas was already on that grown man. So how did they flip us on that? How did they fight back this time? Remember they had a peace movement? The people was fighting back. The white people even joined this. That's where you get the hippies and all that shit. So they said, okay, since these niggas on drugs, let's manufacture some drugs. Call them Nazi scientists. Now we got crack, all type of opiates. Remember that shit? Weed. How many Frank Lucases do you know in the hood? So how the fuck did we get any of those drugs in the hood? Just think about it. Just think about it. Remember in the 80s, 90s, niggas was hitting trains, but nobody got caught for hitting them. They just pull up again next week, next month, whatever the fuck, with the same, some more shit, sometimes different. They was put there, right? How they fight back this time? And then when your kids went to school, they said, oh, them niggas too hyper. Send them to the doctor. We're going to give them a shot. Ritalin. So how they fight back this time? Because it last Civil War was all the way into the 1950s. Is it still Civil War? Or they just stopped saying that it was? So niggas go with the flow. Now check this out. Did you know that 14 years later, they hit you with the Food Stamp Act? That's when they said, hey, you know these jobs closing. The men can't provide for the house. So, families, if you want help, tell the man you gotta go. Because these kids still gotta have health care. And we're gonna give you food stamp and WIC. Just tell us his name so we can charge this nigga. Anything he try to do, we're gonna take half his check. But we're gonna help you with everything you need. You don't need it, man. Anything he can do, you can do better. So how they fight back this time? How they fight back? Civil War was to the 1950s. 1964 was the Food Stamp Act. When they started telling men to get out the house. Right after blues and jazz. Gerald Levert. All of that shit. Niggas was falling in love, being families, family reunions, cookout. Shit was thriving. Nigga, Black Wall Street was going up. Nigga, they started bombing neighborhoods, setting shit on fire, rioting, destroying the music, destroying the food, kicking the niggas out the house. The black family structure. That's how they fought back. Y'all niggas still going with the flow. Just in case you didn't think about it, let's put it like this. They came in, we come in peace. And then they say, hey, the niggas gonna have to go to war because there's no jobs out here, right? So the niggas had to leave the house. And then they had to come back behind. They doubled up and said, hey, women and kids, here's some food that's poison. Because all that shit on WIC, you better know that it was tampered with. That was probably the GMO shit all the way back then. That's why the kids is motherfucking hyper in school. Because that food that was on that WIC list had some shit that make the fucking kids hyper, right? But While the niggas was out at war, they got their ass attacked, trying to be gangsters, sell drugs, trying to find jobs, and get their ass picked up on the street. The women and kids got poisoned, sick. And that's how they took the shit over, right? Killed all that shit off, right? This is the same thing that happened in Thanksgiving. They sent some niggas, they said, we come in peace. And then they said, hey, we England, but them Dutch niggas about to come over here. That's what we heard. So the Dutch niggas came, and then they sent some niggas off to help us to fight the Dutch niggas, right? They tried to give us assistance. And then meanwhile, while we out trying to fight for jobs to be men in the house, they snuck in on our women and said, hey, if y'all need food stamps, leave that nigga outside. You remember us trying to sneak back in the house because we came home and our woman was like, yeah, your job ain't enough, so let's just try this food stamp shit. When they come over, y'all just gonna have to leave. Remember that? We came home to that? That's what happened Thanksgiving. We came home to our women and children sick off chicken pox blankets and the food poison and shit. Same shit over and over again, nigga. This is what's happening right now. We out here trying to find jobs that's getting took over by robots and AI, and we coming home to our women saying, I don't need you no more, nigga. Poisoned by all these fucking fake ass foods and shit that's coming out now. Because where the fuck all that chicken come from? It's the same thing, dog. It's the same thing. Swerve the bells before I get back off of this, because that's what made me start it. If they gonna do that type of shit, think about the frequency. Look at these cathedrals. It was bells everywhere, right? Church bells. They can use that frequency to fuck with you. Your phone tones is bells. The notifications and shit. They can use that to fuck with you. Most of y'all still saying jingle bell and shit, right? Most brands have a little jingle to it. That jingle usually is based off a bell. You don't think that's they can rub that tea cup, ding, that bell sound. You don't think when they have a blunt commercial and then they say ding, you don't think that can hypnotize your ass just like stirring and smacking that teacup? When you ring the doorbell, everybody feel that same way. I mean, it's obvious to get the fuck up, but we can agree that everybody get that same urgent feeling that's like, ooh, shit. Because of that fucking bell. You got all this shit in front of your face, but when you get to the back, you got your cerebell. Called cerebral, but bell, nigga. And your music, the most catchiest part of that song, your favorite song, it can be horns, bass, all that shit, but it usually have a bell in it. Look at your dark songs. Look at them dark motherfuckers. There's a bell somewhere in there. Alright. You get on the elevator. Bell. Every fucking holiday theme song has a bell. They motherfucking devil name. Bell. Every evil villain song has a bell. Wedding bells. Funerals bells. Ceremonies. Announcements. Especially man, shows, nigga, your movies, your TV shows, cartoons, all this shit is bells. bitch. Y'all niggas just pay attention in case you think I'm tripping. I say all that shit because it's gonna sit in your subconscious. This nigga said bell so many times it sounds stupid. But the next time I hear that motherfucker, it may be a week from now, I'm gonna be like, bell, that is a bell. Damn, that is a bell. Bells. That's all I need. That's all I need. I did my job. I love y'all. What?